and we need to talk about it. It's a debate between two incumbent members of Congress who are battling it out in the same district as Haley Stevens and Andy Levin. They held a debate last night at Oakland University, and the two are in the 11th district, both there because of redistricting that required a shift, which lumped them both into the 11th district for various reasons. And in this day and age, Kevin, there's so much for these two to debate about, so many issues.
This is one of the more interesting matchups for Congress in Michigan because, like you said, you got two incumbents running against each other because the maps were drawn. They now have to face each other. Both have a big following, both know how to win, and both were in this debate yesterday. Let's bring in Dave Dulio, Director for the Center for Civic Engagement and Political Science Professor at Oakland University. Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm well. Good morning, guys.
Appreciate you coming in. You know, we've been talking all morning about this school shooting and possible solutions for school shootings and for mass shootings. Did that issue come up at the debate? I don't know what time the debate was.
Well, not only did it come up, it was the first question that our moderators, Chad Livengood from the Detroit News and Emily Lawler from the Free Press, asked about. I mean, given the tragedy in Texas yesterday, it seemed appropriate and worthwhile to get the candidates' thoughts on that topic of what to potentially do about to try to stop these things from happening in the future.
Yeah, people are looking for differences between these two candidates. Did they find a lot of differences on that issue and other issues throughout the debate as it played out?
Well, we're starting to see, I think, some separation between Congressman Levin and Congresswoman Stevens. I think it's pretty clear, at least it was last night, that Congressman Levin is trying to stake out his territory on the progressive side of the Democratic Party. His responses, his record, even that he pointed to himself on any number of issues, from guns to climate change to abortion, even was trying to again stake out that position on the left of the Democratic primary electorate. And Congresswoman Stevens, to this point in her career in Congress, has sort of fit the Oakland County Democratic Party, more moderate, more centrist, even. She may not like me saying that in a Democratic primary, but that's sort of how she has taken her career thus far in Congress, and we'll see how it shakes out through the rest of the summer as they continue to battle for this nomination.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you on that. But when it comes to abortion, Haley Stevens is pretty far on the left and progressive. She used, in fact, race in her attack on Andy Levin regarding abortion, calling him another old white man who essentially has no right to talk about abortion. She managed to inject age and race and gender discrimination into this conversation again. Is this a winning argument for her, do you think?
Well, that's up to the voters in Oakland County, the Democratic primary electorate in Oakland County. I think that's a good point, Tom, too, that she's an excellent candidate, just as Congressman Levin is, right? She knows how to win, as you guys mentioned before. She knows where she has to be to attract votes in a Democratic primary in a year like this. And I think that, it's not surprising that she's also using her sort of progressive bona fides to try to counter that argument with Congressman Levin.
Yeah, Andy Levin was more forceful than she was unpacking and expanding the Supreme Court. He said it should be done in light of Roe. Haley Stevens was more hesitant, it seems, says she's willing, though, to consider it. Again, this is one of those situations, I think, where she's appealing more to moderates and he's more appealing to progressives.
I do. I think that, he even went as far as to say that he favors the idea, or would consider the idea, of each president during a 4-year term getting to nominate someone to the Supreme Court as a way to potentially add, of course, but to also, he says, take it down a notch, where it's not such a big deal when a Supreme Court vacancy comes up. That was about as deep as we got into the conversation on that topic last night. But I think that's not one that I've heard before, mentioned as a potential reform, quote unquote, to the Supreme Court.
We've had both guests on the show, and recently it seems to me, my take on this is that Andy Levin has been more progressive, more openly progressive in his comments as he's appeared on the show as this race has gotten closer. Is there more money to get for your campaign by moving to the left, or is that not an issue at all?
Well, I think, again, in a Democratic primary, we have to think about who the players would be and who the potential contributors are, not just in terms of individual contributors, but certainly PACs, although there was quite a discussion last night about so-and-so's taking this kind of PAC money and so-and-so's not. But also down the road, when we get closer, I think, to the August election day, third-party groups and what they might be coming in to spend to try to help their favored candidate. I think that you could certainly see some progressive groups try to come and impact this primary race.
Well, this is an interesting race for sure. One reason being that these are two incumbents. We appreciate you highlighting this and talking about it. You were there last night at Oakland University. Dave Dulio, the director of the Center for Civic Engagement and Political Science, professor at Oakland University. Dave, great to talk with you again. Thank you.
Good to talk to you, too. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day. 800-859-0957. Your calls now at 800-859-0957.